Hey guys, what's going on? It's Wednesday. It's a little after 8:30, so you know what that means. It means we have another episode of the Nest for you. I'm Prez, and today I am joined by Hodo and Gaz. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
pretty good, pretty good. Just finished a map of a scrim with my team, and I'm ready for the nest.
And I just got home from work. So
Nice.
Absolutely nothing today.
Alrighty. Well, today we'll be talking to you about the Week 2 matches, the Week 3 predictions, as well as just some of the teams that have clinched the playoffs and a new team to Owlet that has replaced Blackjack Gaming. So, to start us off, I want to talk about said new team. Blackjack Gaming currently was, not currently, previously was in the Owlet tournament. They were formerly known as the Deadlock Gang. However, they had to withdraw with a 3-7 record. Taking their place will be the Gold Gang, who will be adopting that record and are not looking like they have a very strong chance at making the playoffs, but they do have a chance. However, they do have a tough schedule up ahead, so it will be incredibly difficult for them to achieve. But hey, you never know. Miracles could happen.
That is very much true. In this year and out in OWL, we've seen like a complete shakeup from last year with new teams, etc. And we could very much see the same thing happen here.
yeah, they'll only have like 3 weeks of play, though, right? So are they gonna make up the games that were supposed to be scheduled in the first 2 weeks? Do either of you know?
I imagine they will.
I imagine they'll at least have the option.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe something like with the CTA and Nevermore, where you're coming in, you take the 2-3 loss, but you have the option to replay, I imagine.
Yeah.
Of course, our lovely admins will have to let us know about that later. But speaking of the playoffs, we actually had two teams in the Majors division that clinched, and that goes to Boosted, by the way, and Ghost Peppers. Boosted, by the way, with a 13-0 record, the NYXL of Owlet, if you will.
They've lost 4 maps. Oh my god.
They've lost 4 maps,
Yeah.
but those maps were technically not even losses because they were to CTA and Evermore Academy, who they never replayed those matches, if I'm not mistaken. So it was just that 3-2 record. So technically, Boosted, by the way, has never lost a map, in play, which is incredible.
That's quite
just so
scary. that I'm gonna be looking forward to those playoff matches when they roll around.
Definitely.
Well, Yes gave them a run for their money in their match on Saturday.
You gotta remember, regular season completely different. I mean, again, back to OWL, we saw last year NYXL kind of fall apart near the end, and we could very much see the same thing happen. Anything could happen in playoffs.
Definitely. All right, and now our next team that clinched the playoffs is Ghost Peppers, incredibly strong team, captained by Nursey, who is a Masters graduate, in fact, but he didn't hit Masters until right after the stage 2 roster lock. So he got lucky there. Of course, Ghost Peppers, an incredibly strong team, strong all throughout. But Hodo, tell me about their newer pickups and just how that's impacted their team.
Well, with Ghost Peppers, it's one of those things in which they were actually seriously lacking DPS players. So with this pickup, they actually picked up Commander Hui, they picked up Thick Daddy, they picked up one more player. I think they finally got Michael, I think.
They took that guy Tyler.
That guy Tyler, that's right. And then Michael is the one who graduated. So, and Fat Mike unfortunately went on a little bit of hiatus, but with Commander Hui, who provides a little bit of flexibility with regards to projectile DPS, he has a huge a sort of bank of players that he can play, and some of them are a little odd because he can play that Junkrat really, really well, but he's also a very good Genji. He's also a very good Pharah. So therefore, he provides that flexibility that they need. That they don't have to keep running goats. Now, they were forced to run goats because of what they were doing, but now they incorporate Thick Daddy, who's a very good off tank, who can play more than just Diva. He can go to more than Roadhog, excuse me. He can go to a Diva and play Zarya if he absolutely needs to. That guy Tyler also is really good flex and is a very good Widowmaker. I think they're really set up really, really well to end up in the playoffs, and I honestly believe that if barring anything that happens, I think they're going to meet up with Boosted there in the final and try to get a little bit of revenge for the defeat that they suffered at their hands earlier on the season.
Alrighty, interesting, of course. However, let's talk about the playoff bubble then. Playoff bubble we have, which is That's really those teams that are sitting in that 8-win territory, which would be Burn, Bot Camp, Furious Unicorns, and Wisdom OW. But we can also include other teams such as Olderwatch and CTA, who have had a much stronger showing this stage than they did perhaps in previous stages. So Burn, of course, they lost 3 players and picked up 2 new ones. They lost me, here's truly, Press. They lost Commander Huey. Oh, sorry, they only lost those 2 players. But they were able to pick up Breathkick and Adam, both of who had pretty strong performances. So really, it's been up on and off for them, where they're currently sitting at an 8-5 record, which gets them the 5th place. However, we've seen them be a bit shaky against other teams, such as Furious Unicorns. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays off in the whole plays out. In the long run. Bot Camp, though, let's talk about them for a bit. Guys, what can you tell me? They took over for Team Verdant, but things haven't looked too hot for them.
Well, with regards to Bot Camp, I mean, it's one of those teams that I haven't had a real chance to sort of watch yet. But from what I understand, they're a very decent team, but they've just run into a bit of bad luck. I mean, they ran into Ghost Peppers this week on Sunday and lost 4-0. So that's not going to be one of those matches that is going to be an easy win for anybody. Taking a map off of either the Peppers or Boosted is an achievement in the division. So it's going to be one of those things. But early on, Botcamp literally were doing relatively well in the Majors division when they needed to actually play. But a 4-0 loss to, Power Naps on the 24th on Sunday didn't look good, and then Boosted took them down 4-0. I just honestly think that like some of the competition that they really have had to go up against has been really up against them. So it's made them look worse than they actually are, unfortunately, because it's like, what are you going to do there? That Power Naps loss, though, is the one that really does stand out. But Power Naps, a little bit on a high, going up, doing a little bit better than they were in stage 1 here. So they're going to try to make a run at it at the end. So Botcamp, though, I think if they start playing some of the other players in the Majors division, should be okay.
Definitely. Now, no team has yet to actually be unable. It's not impossible for any of these teams to make the playoffs in the Majors division. And one of those teams is CTA, which of course is your team, guys.
Yes.
So tell me about them. What do you think is your major weakness, and what do you think is going to be able to help propel into the playoffs? You're only 2 spots away, but at the same time, that's 3 wins away for you guys.
Honestly, I think it's simply strength of schedule. Although we've lost like a significant number of our matches, more than we've won since stage 2. If you look at it right now, the map differential, we actually have a better map differential than Wisdom OW has, and I genuinely think that once there's a few things we have to sort out, obviously first, which we've been working on heavily the last week or so, mainly just coordination stuff. A lot of times, me or another member of the team has gotten significantly split from the team, and it's caused some fight loss. A lot of it's been me. Honestly, I play a very aggressive main tank, and that does come back to bite me sometimes. But I genuinely think that once we definitely have the individual skill to be a top 8 team, to be a playoff contender, and we're coming up on a few matches that we've looked at them, and at least I have, and I kind of said, we've got this, we can win this. And I think we're going to be a team to watch out for once we hit that top 8. I think it's just a matter of when rather than if.
Definitely. All right, so very interesting, of course, to see the Majors playoff picture. But now let's look at the Minors playoff picture. So we've got some interesting just teams here. Of course, the big thing to know, in my opinion, is Otter Oxide taking that number 1 spot from Flashpoint, and with it clinching a playoff seed. So that's absolutely incredible. Sadly, Massive, one of our members here on the show, is not able to join us today, but he is on Otter Oxide, so congratulations to him. But yeah, Minors looking incredibly competitive. I mean, especially those top 6 spots. But hey, you can't count out really anyone except. I mean, I hate to say it. Really, I do. Like, I love you guys, Liquor Sweat, but you're kind of pulling a Shanghai Dragons here.
I think they have a chance.
You think they have a chance?
I genuinely do. I think from what I've seen of them, it seems like they have the same issues that my team's running into. They have the individual skill. It's a matter of getting that skill together into a coordinated team. And that's possibly the easiest issue to fix in Overwatch.
I'm with Gaz on this one. I think before the end of the year, I think they're going to at least have one win.
They're gonna surprise a lot of people. I think they're gonna. Yeah. I genuinely think that they have they might not make the playoffs, but they're gonna. I think they have a shot at moving up a spot or two in the standings.
The problem is this week they're playing Flashpoint, and they're playing Flashpoint right now as this is going on.
How is that match going?
I have no idea. We'll probably get an update soon, but Flashpoint dropped into second because of the fact that they were 11-2 versus Otter Oxide's 12-2, but they were still ahead of them in differential. So if Flashpoint 4-0 Licorice Whip tonight, they'll actually take over the top spot over Otter Oxide with a plus 31 differential. So, Massive's probably trying to figure out how we can watch that match to make sure to see if Licorice Whip can maybe steal
I'm trying to figure out how to watch that match right now.
Could steal a map or two from Flashpoint to see if that maybe they could stay up top here through the weekend. So it's very funny.
I genuinely think they have a shot, even at the playoffs, and it's a bold prediction, I'm sure, but the whole entirety of last year, I was a believer in Shanghai Dragons. It didn't quite work out, but I think it could very much be the opposite with Licorice Whip. I think they could make a very good turnaround here.
Final thought on that is the fact that they've now knocked both Otter Oxide and Flashpoint off of their schedule. So therefore they don't have to play the top two teams anymore left in the league. So they have this role of spoiler coming up because we casted the expandable Odyssey Quantum Charge game last night, and Odyssey took a huge win in that map. They took a 4-0 win, which really separated them away from like that 5-6 level. So they're going to be able to pull away, I think, and I think with another couple wins, they'll be able to lock up a spot. And the thing about it now is that Quantum Charge going forward into all of its matches, Blazing Pegasus going into all of its matches, it's going to be super tight because Echo 6, them at 5 and 9, are still going to have a really good shot if they can win games in the next couple weeks here to sort of maybe steal something away there and maybe sneak into the 6th spot. So Licorice Whip and teams like Licorice Whip, Penta and Viserion, both of them have absolute chances there to sort of shake up the minor standings, especially.
In general, minors, just like at least from looking from the standings, I haven't gotten too much of a look at the minors other than Licorice Whip, who I've been following out of a fascination more than anything. But it seems a lot closer than majors. It doesn't seem as top heavy, although in both, obviously, anything could happen.
Yeah, and then there are more tendencies for teams to upset other teams too, and take at least one or maybe two maps from them. So it makes the viewing very, very fun. So like we've started doing a lot more minors games on my channel too. So
that's been great.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, as we're talking about some maybe surprising upsets, let's go ahead and take a look at the predictions of our casters from last week. And we're going to start off with the Majors Day 1 predictions. So, here, we had Hodo, Massive, and Love all taking the guess that yes, would get the dub over Power Naps, and of course, they did. Nevermore Academy is predicted to beat VMT, however, that match has yet to play out. However, something interesting, Massive and Love both predicted my team, Furious Unicorn, to beat Burn, but instead, Hodo, you were correct. Burn went ahead and beat us, sadly, 3-2.
Yeah.
Very close match.
Yeah, you can't try. You got to trust Girardi in a revenge match. It's one of those things.
I really feel the love, Hodo. I really feel it. All right. Well, Hodo, Massive, and Love all were correct. Ghost Peppers takes the 4-0 over Bot Camp. Expandable Academy, though, surprised everyone with a 3-2 win over Wisdom Overwatch, proving all of our casters wrong. 15-16, though, lost 4-0 to the Megs, which, well, that kind of evened that things up in terms of the record. And then Tiny's Takeout Academy with a 3-2 win over Overwatch, an incredibly close match, no doubt.
Extremely stressful for me being in there.
Yeah, Gazorp, that must have been a hard match.
Yeah, all my respect goes out to the guys on Overwatch. That could have gone either way. Like, a few mistakes either way could have completely changed that match. It was so close on every map.
Definitely. Now for our day 2 matches. So, day 2, boosted by the way, of course, swept yes 4-0, as we know, they've yet to drop a map, with MOW predicted to beat Chinese Takeout Academy by 2 out of our 3 casters, and Hodo and Love were both correct. Burn takes the 4 over Expandable Academy, showing yet again how incredibly smart all our casters are, and the fact that they're able to read standing.
Oof.
Power Naps, though, does
that's right.
lose 4-0 to the Furious Unicorns, which yet again shows our incredible casters can read the standing. Now then, on to the minors. Hodo, this looked a bit rough for you, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to go
Yeah.
for some upset picks here on the minor side. This was not.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is the unpredictability of minors. It's like I'm not a person to pick against Flashpoint, for God's sakes. But come on now. I mean, like, I'll give Penten Viserion and Greyhound Solar a shot against some of the teams on the upper levels, because it's like, why not? But unfortunately, did not go my way.
It did not go your way, but it went Master's way for sure. He had 100% pick right here. So let's go over this real quick.
Ooh.
Flashpoint is predicted to beat Licorice Whip tonight. However, if Licorice Whip loses, they're out of playoff contention, so they need to get this win. Autoroxide took the 4 over Blazing Pegasus, which of course propelled them into first place. Expandable Odyssey, though, with the surprise win, which only Massive predicted, taking a 3-1 dub over Penten Viserion, and giving them even better chance of getting a playoff berth. Greyhound Solar, though, lost 0-4 to Quantum Charge.
Ooh, that's a rip for you, Hodo.
Yeah.
That's a big F.
And that just went ahead and lowered Hodo's percentage.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Rip.
All right, and then Echo 6 went ahead and lost 4-0 to TBA, which, I mean, Hodo, you took a risk, and
Yeah.
that didn't pay off too well.
Yeah, it didn't. And the thing about it is like, Quantum Charge goes into their day 2 match, and then they got skunked by Expandable Odyssey 4-0-2. So it was like, coming off of this match, it was
quite the interesting week for them, to say the least.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now on to minors day 2. There were a lot of close matches, but also some blowouts here. So let's take a look. Greyhound Solar takes a 3-2 win over Blazing Pegasus, which all our casters predicted, but I'm not sure that they predicted it to be so close. Autoroxide, though, 4-0'd Licorice Whip and Expandable Odyssey did the same to Quantum Charge, surprising both Hodo and Love. TBA, though, barely scraped out a win against Penten Viserion, winning 2-1, which, again, surprised Hodo and Love. However, Flashpoint dropped a map to Echo 6, but still won it 3-1.
Yep.
So, lots of close matches this past week.
Yeah, it goes to show that Massive is the minor specialist, because he was I think 9-1 in the Massive in the division.
He plays in it, so I'm not surprised.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure he has all the scouting on those teams. But looking at chat right now, one of y'all is saying that Greyhound versus BP was a huge game for playoff implications. Can you guys confirm that?
Greyhound versus BP?
Yeah, at least for one of the teams, apparently. It was huge for playoffs.
Yes, actually, Greyhound Solar versus BP did propel Blazing Pegasus, as well as the Echo 6 loss, propelled the Blazing Pegasus into the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. That's quite interesting.
Well, Blazing Pegasus is having real issues, though.
Yeah,
because
they are literally 7-7 with a 0 map differential.
Yeah, it's going the wrong way, unfortunately, for them. And Echo 6 needed a win this week to close that gap up a little bit. But now the thing about it is Pegasus, if they can pick up one win in the next 4, I think Echo 6 is going to have a really hard time trying to get that 6th spot.
Though, anything can happen. Especially in minors, it seems it's a day-by-day thing, and it's quite interesting to watch. Just watch those. If you look at like the standings over the stage, it's been interesting.
Yeah. And then Quantum Charge, though, I mean, against that Expandable Odyssey match, they were just having serious issues against Expandable Odyssey, trying to just sort of go up against them with specific strategies. It seemed like their front line was just sort of separated from the rest of their healers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't coordinated enough. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't working right against Expandable Odyssey, and they just sort of forward them relatively easily when we were sort of casting them last night.
All right.
All right, definitely. Now then, let's talk about this. So, Boost, by the way, and Ghost Peppers both clinched the playoff berth in majors. However, Boost, by the way, they're a strong team, no doubt. But is there any chance that Ghost Peppers, who have been on a bit of a rise here, in my opinion, can look to dethrone them? Hodo, tell me more about the team for Boosted especially, and some of their key players.
Well, you would used to think that if you were going to get boosted, you would need to get that 5v6 advantage. And in stage 1, there was a lot of that happening, especially against them, where Lokai, their DPS player, would be sort of poking, not necessarily respecting the opposing players too much, and he would go down either to a Widow shot or getting picked off by maybe a long distance Zen. And teams weren't just taking advantage of that. They've fixed that now. Whereas he's not going to be getting picked off as much. They're actually playing a better, safer comp. Nobody's actually positioning themselves. I was talking to Mimri before the actual cast, and there was just a little bit of rust in their initial match with Yes, but they look solid. They look like basically a mid-level Masters team at some points when they were playing Yes. They lose one map out of the entire thing, and they lose basically just Sanctum, because Sanctum's one of those 50-50 maps anyway, but they just go on to just sort of house one of the best teams in the Majors division, and they can be literally sort of a juggernaut here that is going to be very, very hard to stop. Literally, what you're going to have to do against them is you need to take full advantage of any chances you get. If they lose their off tank, maybe if they when they're playing in a 3-3, if you can eliminate their Zarya first, make sure that they get eliminated quickly. We've seen Owl teams only win about 7% of their matches if you were able to eliminate the off tanks in matchups and fights and stuff like that. Maybe you have to do the same thing as Boosted, because Delicious is very, very good Reinhardt, and I don't think many of the tanks in this division are going to be able to match up to him, unfortunately.
Alrighty. Well, definitely. Boost, by the way, of course, incredibly strong team, without a doubt. Now then, let's take a look at, real quick, just let's see how our casters have been doing with their predictions of these matches. So, we have Massive leading the charge in 84% accuracy, but he's only been on 1 week, so we can kind of like put a little asterisk on that, if you will. Love Gangster and Hodo, you guys are both tied 28 and 14 across all weeks, but Love was a bit stronger coming out of the gates for week 2. Love, of course, kind of scuffed that Miners one up. Girardi, 43.48% overall. He appeared on week 1 only so far, and Gaz has yet to post his predictions. So, speaking of which, let's go ahead and take a look at our week 3 predictions. Starting off in the Majors Day 1 schedule. Hodo, Massive, and both have power naps taking the win over Gaz, over Expandable Academy, but Gaz believes that Expandable Academy can pull off the upset. Gaz, tell me why.
I simply think that it's a possible win. We've played Expandable Academy, and it was a close match. I believe we took that match, but it was close enough that, given the standings, I haven't seen too much of Power Naps, especially since they retooled a lot during the stage break. But I genuinely think, given my experience with Expandable Academy, I think they could pull off an upset, or at least an upset considering the predictions here.
This is a 50-50 match.
Yeah.
This could go either way, honestly. I think both Massive and I think that just Power Naps has a little bit of an advantage, have a little bit of momentum going into this week, I think. And this is going to be one they're going to know that they can win. So you'll see them try really, really hard here against Expandable Academy, and I think that might be the tiebreaker here.
Definitely. Now, Hodo, Massive, and Gaz all have zero faith in me and think that the Furious Unicorns will lose to Boosted, by the way. I can't blame you. I have zero faith in myself as well.
You have to play perfect.
They're the top-ranked team. You guys gotta play perfect.
Yeah.
And they don't have to. They can afford mistakes, and
Definitely.
Given their standings and what I've seen of them, you guys can't. They are going to every mistake you make.
Well, of course, all our casters are also taking the Megs over Bot Camp, who have had a bit of a weak start. And the Megs, of course, 10-3 team, 3rd place, very strong so far. with a bit. They're a bit unique, if you will. They show off. They don't spam goats like a lot of teams. I mean, not all the teams do it, but we do see goats quite often. Now then, VMT versus 15-16. Both Hodo and Gaz are taking 15-16 over VMT. Massive believes they can pull off the upset. While Massive isn't here, Hodo, go ahead, defend your pick. Why can 15-16 beat VMT?
I just think that VMT are just still struggling now. They just don't. I don't know. They just don't have that sort of continuity that they need to beat 15-16. 15-16 came out like at the beginning of the beginning of the stage actually relatively well, and I think they might be able to carry this on. This is definitely a winnable match for both teams. Don't get me wrong. I just think 15-16 just going to be slightly a little stronger in this match. I think 3-1, possibly 3-2.
Yeah.
3-1. All right, that's fair. Now then, we have the CTA versus Burn match. Hodo and Massive going off the standings, but Guys has faith in his team. Hodo, tell him all he's wrong.
I think Burn needed to get their sort of house in order at the beginning of the stage, and I think that win over Furious Unicorns, that 3-2 win last week, excellent for their morale and for their sort of mental state going into the CTA match, which is a match I think they know they need to win because they can't really be dropping matches now, and especially winnable ones. So defend your team there, Gas.
Pretty much is all the stuff I've said earlier about my team. Like a week or two ago, I would have been a bit more. This is just a believing in my team thing, but now considering we've made a lot of progress, I believe over the past week or so, and given that, I think this is more than just a not voting against my own team. This is I genuinely believe we have a shot at this, and I'm looking forward to this match. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be a close one either way. I don't think we're gonna 4-0 them, but I think we have a shot at winning this. This, especially given all the matches that we have lost recently, have been very close matches. Even the ones that haven't gone to map 5s, like they've been like 99-99 on control point, stuff like that, and it could go either way. I think.
Just gotta believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, next up we have all of our casters predicting the number 2 Ghost Peppers to beat number 4 seed. Yes, of course, this will be a close matchup. However, Ghost Peppers slight advantage, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I think tank play is what's going to be determined here.
Yeah, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Their only loss is to Boosted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is. They may as well be considered 12-0, given how Boosted's been playing.
That's fair.
But like, I still think it could go either way, but I have a bit more faith in Ghost Peppers bringing home the win than I do in Yes.
Well, I think Yes, it has got a shot. They played Boosted tough. I mean, if people were watching the channel and they saw the match before the Nest here tonight, they actually gave Boosted a good run for their money in the first two maps, especially.
Yeah, Nepal went to 3 points rather.
Yep. And then like 66 took sort of like a Herculean effort from Boosted to even complete that map, because there was a span there for 2.5 minutes where they had to fight in overtime going around the first bend to just even get it to point B, and then I think just broke them mentally at that point, which was sort of insane to watch.
It's always rough getting a situation like that and then losing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, from what I watched of that map, that it just seems like after that they were exhausted and they had nothing in them.
Yeah, and you know, mentally that can be just so straining. And going now into the Ghost Peppers match, I think if it happens again, I think it might be just really, really bad for team morale in that particular sense. But if they can get a win over the Peppers,
that's huge.
I think that's so huge for Yes.
Yeah.
But you know,
anyone beating those top 2 teams is huge. Like, just given how they've played, it's you gotta show some weakness of top teams, and a win or even map wins against them do that, and I'm looking forward to watching that match.
Definitely. Now we have our number 8 seed taking on our number 9 seed for day 2 with the Wisdom OW versus Older Watch matchup. However, it does seem we have a bit of a dispute here with Hodo and Gaz taking Overwatch, but Massive defends the Wisdom OW pick. Hodo, Massive's not here to defend himself, so why don't you go ahead and just tear him apart?
Well, I think in this particular case, Massive is a minor specialist, and he understands the standings as I do. Wisdom 8-6, Older Watch 5-8. It's sort of easy to sort of figure that out, I think. But I'm going here with Older Watch because Older Watch know that if they can get a win off of Wisdom, it will help them so much in having a chance to make the playoffs here at the end of the season. And that is, I think, what I'm sort of banking on. I'm banking on the desperation angle here from Older Watch to see if they can actually knock Wisdom down a peg and then give them like hope here for the end of the season. So
yeah.
So I don't know what
The
Gaz thinks.
desperation.
I went for them based on my faith, my respect for them after that match that me and them had. It was. I keep going back to that, but it genuinely was one of the closest matches I've ever had in Overwatch, and just it took everything from us to take that map 5 from them. And I think if they give that effort continuously, they're gonna be a playoff contender 100%.
Alrighty then. Now then, looking at the day 2 schedule for majors, we have the Botcamp versus VMT game, where despite Botcamp's pretty weak showing so far, we do have all of our casters predicting them to beat VMT, who sadly has just not really shown the team coordination and strength that you really need to contest for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Furious Unicorns versus Ghost Peppers, where yet again, my fellow casters have no faith in me. I'm really hurt, guys. Really. It's not like we're going up against the number 1 and number 2 seed team in the same week or anything.
Dude, who drew up the schedule? Because
actually, like
what
whoever
kind
drew up the
of
schedule,
punishment is that?
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you. Like, yikes. Do you just like have something against Furious Unicorns?
Yeah,
Or just unicorns?
I look on the bright side. You're getting matches out of the way in a row, and you like obviously you prepare for it, but like in the back of your head, you can kind of think after this week, okay, it's over. We can focus.
No leaks or anything. No leaks or anything. But we have looked at a lot of just saying. Anyways, next up we have the Older Watch versus Burn match. Hodo and Massive are taking Burn, but Gaz sticks with his respect for Older Watch yet again. Wow, you really respect them after that match.
I genuinely see them as a top tier playoff contender after that. Like, I know I'm hyping them up a lot, but I think it's deserves. I think they've earned my respect from that. And again, I watched another one of their matches, and although I forget who they played, I believe they lost it though. Even though they lost it, it was another hard fought fight that they clearly gave their all to, and it's gonna be interesting.
Alrighty then. So next up we do have Yes versus Nevermore Academy, where Nevermore Academy only having 2 wins total. And yes, with that number 4 seed, everyone's just predicting Yes to win.
I'd like to see Nevermore take it, but I can't. I gotta protect my my prediction score there. I gotta go with the betting odds right there.
Now we have CTA and Power Naps fighting it out after that, where Hodo and Gaz both have faith in Gaz's team, but Massive, well, he doesn't. So, not so much. Sadly, he's not here to attack that pick.
This is one that should be casted because honestly, if you're looking at you're looking at a 10-11 matchup that's going to determine who makes it to the playoffs or still has a chance at the end of this game to make the playoffs or not. I mean, barring what happens in day 1, CTA and Power Naps are going to decide who is still going to have a chance in the league here, and who ends up only can be a spoiler at the end. So huge match.
Yeah, I think we have the slight edge, but it's gonna be a close one. And if it does end up being casted, which it definitely should, I hope you all tune in because it's gonna be a very close fought match, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then next up we have Expandable Academy taking on Boosted by the Way, and of course, I mean, Boosted by the Way gonna be like what 16-0 after this week? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rip and Pippin in chat says he believes that Expandable Academy can
I
Indeed.
it's a possibility certainly, but I question your faith there. I believe your faith is misplaced there. Unfortunately, they're a good team, but they're not boosted. By the way,
I'm pretty sure Rippin is on that team. Was he on Odyssey?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rick
yeah.
is saying that because he is on Expandable Academy.
That's fair. You gotta believe in your own team, right? You can't go into a match just accepting a loss. You gotta go in hoping for at least preparing to win.
Now, ignoring this graphic, because it's slightly incorrect, the last match is Wisdom OW versus 1516, and you all are taking Wisdom OW.
That just makes me vote for Wisdom more. Honestly, I think they're better. They're a better team. They're even though they're on the cusp of playoff contention right now, they're in, but they're definitely on the cusp of being out. I think they're gonna keep that playoff spot. I think they're definitely gonna move up because I bet I'd place money on either me or either us or Older Watch making it into playoffs by the end of the stage.
Well, alrighty. Well, let's take a look at our minors predictions. To start us off, we have the Quantum Charge taking on the Blazing Pegasus. Despite the Blazing Pegasus getting that win last week and now being a playoff contender, you guys are still taking the Quantum Charge over them. Surprising.
Yeah, Quantum Charge is going to want to win after that loss against Expandable.
Yeah.
Expandable, they're going to want one bad. Blazing Pegasus, wrong direction, I think, is where they're going. They have not won yet, and they are slowly sinking. And if they're going to right the ship, it's going to have to be during this match because this is super important as they're basically holding down 5 and 6.
Yes, whoever wins this match takes 5th place.
Yeah, it's especially given that 6th place cutoff. It's important getting that 5th place to have that bit of a cushion, and I think both of them are going to be just given it even more they're all than usual.
Definitely.
All
right, next up
at the very least.
We have Greyhound Solar taking on Licorice Whip, and Hodo and Gaz both think that Licorice Whip are gonna get their first win. Tell me why.
Well, this is one of those matches that they can win. We had mentioned earlier on that they're slowly getting better, and they just need a matchup that I think just will play just right. And I think this is it. This is Greyhound Solar. This match could be the map. This could be the magic day where you win. Unfortunately, it's a day 1 match, so I don't know if it's scheduled for a Saturday or Sunday. So I don't know if we're ever if it's going to be casted live. But this is one of the matches that I think that they can win.
Yeah, they 100% have a shot, and I've got to believe in them. You can't vote against a team that's 0-12. It's if you're watching Massive, I'm quite upset with you for voting against them. You got to believe in these guys. Come on.
Alrighty. Well, next up we have Expandable Odyssey taking on TBA, a fight for 3rd. Well, not really a fight for 3rd place, but hey, it's between 3rd and 4th place. Definitely gonna be an interesting one to watch. But Hodo, you're the only one that has faith in Odyssey. Why?
I have faith in Odyssey, and it's because of how I saw them play Quantum Charge. They were really, really good in that match. And, they capitalize on Quantum Charge's mistakes, but I just honestly believe that, off the back of that match, going into this TBA match, I think they're going to have a good shot at this. I think they just got to make sure that they just keep doing what they're doing, play solid, play steady, make sure they protect their supports, and I think they're going to be okay. And I think they will beat TBA.
Alrighty then.
For the most part here, since I haven't really watched much of either of these teams, I went with Otter just because he's there, he's in the thick of it, he knows what's going on. he's down on the ground, I suppose. But I from what I have seen, this is going to be a close match, and
I don't know. Expandable Odyssey's been on the way up.
They have.
That's true. The way that how long can they keep that up? Is it?
Yeah. Very good. And look at this coming out of Twitch chat. Expandable Odyssey beat TBA in the first stage. So this is not going to be the first time that is coming up. Evie with the stats right there. Shout out to Evie.
Yeah. TBA is going to be coming in with a vengeance, though. They're going to be looking to take that win back from him.
Definitely.
Oh, revenge match. You know what it is.
Exactly.
Hey. All right, now we have Flashpoint taking on Penta and Viserion, but Gaz here thinks that number 9 seed Penta and Viserion can beat number 2 seed Flashpoint. Why is that?
This is a it's a long shot pick, but I've watched a match or two of Penton, and I watched them play. I believe it was TBA, and I genuinely think if they play the way, especially on Nepal, if they play the way they did then consistently, if they can keep that consistency up, they have a genuine chance. I don't think they're going to quite be able to make it into playoffs, unfortunately, given their current position. But I genuinely think they're going to shock a lot of people. I think if they can keep that level of play up.
Alrighty. Well, and then our last match of day 1 for minors is Otter Oxide versus Echo 6, where all of our casters predict the number 1 seed Otter Oxide to beat number 7 seed Echo 6. So let's look at our day 2 minors matchups. So we have Penten Viserion taking on Licorice Whip, and despite Hodo thinking that Licorice Whip could beat 18 Greyhound Solar, he thinks they'll lose to number 19 Penten Viserion. Why is that, Hodo?
Because Penten is one of those weird teams that can be really good or not decent at all. It just really depends on the day, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think Penten, depending on when this match actually happens, will not want to lose to Licorice Whip that day. Now, suffice to say, it might not be their choice, because if Licorice Whip is improved as much as I think they've improved, Benson Viserion is going to have everything they're going to need, and they're going to have a sort of a real match on their hands. But they absolutely, I think, do not want to be that team that goes down to LW on day 2.
Yeah, I think Licorice Whip has a shot. These are two very close teams standings wise, and although I think Penton has been improving a bit more than Licorice Whip has, again, like you said, Penton right now are pretty inconsistent, and if they can't keep that consistency, I think Licorice Whip has a genuine chance.
Alrighty then. So next up we have TBA taking on the Blazing Pegasus, and Hodo and Massa both have TBA winning it, but guys, you disagree. Why is that?
Again, I gotta be the contrarian here again, because Blazing Pegasus, I watched one of their matches, and there were points of brilliance there in terms of just their I don't know who their target color is. I'm assuming I forget the name of their main tank, but I'm assuming it's him or her, given how most teams have it, especially now with goats. But I genuinely think that if they can take those moments of brilliance, translate that into consistent predictions of where the other team's going, what ults they're going to use, and when, they have a very good team on their hands, and it's going to be close, definitely, even if they are playing very well, but it's going to be interesting to watch, and I think Blazing Pegasus is going to take it.
BP needs a win bad.
Yeah, that as well. They're going to be desperate.
The problem is it's not going to be this match. And the thing about it is they actually played each other in minors already. I think based on there's a score line here on Monday, February 4th, where Pegasus actually went down to TBA 1-2. So it's very interesting here that they're playing again. I guess it's just the way that the draw sort of happened. So they're playing again. So Pegasus want to get a little bit of revenge, and they played this game really tight, but I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, I think TBA is just a little too strong.
Alrighty then. Well, next up we have Expandable Odyssey versus Echo 6. Guys, wow, you really like to be the odd one out here. You're taking Echo 6 over Odyssey. That's interesting, but I mean, hey, Echo 6, they're going to be thirsty for that win, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Desperation can make teams play so far above their level. It's going to be interesting. And I say that about every match, but in minors especially, it's true, because just if it's so close, even with the lower ranks, it's so close, and it could go either way. There's
Well,
not much to say other than that.
Apparently, Echo 6 beat Expandable Odyssey with a reverse sweep stage 1, so it'll be interesting to watch that matchup for sure.
It's not the same Echo 6, though. They did lose a couple players to a Majors team, so therefore those players are gone. So therefore, it's revenge time.
Yeah,
and I think the pandas from Expandable Odyssey going to have their bit of revenge here on Echo 6 on week 3, day 2.
Bit of trash talk going on in Twitch chat right now. All right, well, you guys all predict Otter Oxide to beat Greyhound Solar. Yeah, for our next matchup, Gaz, once again, wow. I can't wait to see that 0% next week. I'm just going to look at it and it's just going to say, Gaz, 0%. Because you're taking Quantum Charge over Flashpoint. I guess you just, hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so.
Yeah. This is one of the ones I'm more confident about in terms of upsets, because Quantum Charge has looked stunning since the start of Stage 2, from what I've seen of them. Like, I watched a bit of them in Stage 1, and it's night and day in Stage 2, and a lot of their failings have been in Stage 1, and I believe they made a few changes in between stages. Correct me if I'm wrong, and it seems from what I've seen, those changes are paying off incredibly well.
It's going to be a tough match.
Yeah, no, 100%. But it's one I'm pretty confident they can take.
They need to work on that tank line in the front. Because if they can get that going a little better, they'll have a good shot. They'll have a shot at Flashpoint. But the way they looked against Expandable when I casted them on Tuesday. Ooh.
Yeah, that was a rough match for them. I don't think it was indicative of the rest, even the rest of their stage, let alone their potential.
Okay then. So definitely some interesting matchups for sure coming out. We have Furious Unicorn sadly going up against the number 1 and 2 seed. I'm really not excited. We have.
I'm gonna totally be watching those.
We have a lot of playoff contention teams in the minors and majors division looking to brawl it out, whether it's Wizmo W and Older Watch, or you have, I believe it was Blazing Pegasus and Echo 6, if I'm not mistaken. I have to take a real quick look at that. Blazing Pegasus and... Nope, it's Echo 6 and Otter Oxide I was thinking. Sorry about that, guys. Just a little scuffed. But yeah, so we have a lot of matchups for sure that are coming up, and it's going to be so exciting to watch week 3. But that about wraps it up for the Nest. But do make sure you guys stick around. We do have Coach's Corner at 10:30 p.m. EST. I'm Prez. This was Hodo. This was Gaz. Our lovely producer was none other than SilentMarine. He's absolutely fantastic. Make sure to show him some love in push chat. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you follow if you haven't already. Make sure you join the Owlet Tournament Discord if you haven't already. Follow them on Twitter. Follow them on Instagram. I think they have YouTube as well. Yep. Yeah. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. And again, stick around. Coach's Corner with Frumple, 10:30 p.m. EST. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.